What's going on, everybody? Today I'm starting out with toned tan paper and a simple graphite pencil. I like using the toned paper because it simplifies the shading process. For this drawing, I'm using a reference photo as I always do. I started by drawing a square using the height of the bear as the measurement. I create this square the size I want. I then use this square as a guide, as I mentally create the same square on my reference and see where it lines up on the bear. Next, I can guess the shape of the back and also the placement of the legs. The only part left is which lies outside of the initial square, the head of the bear. I mainly guess this part as well, based upon the other marks and measurements I've made. I continue filling in placement of smaller details like ears, eyes, and shadow shapes. Even though this is just the initial pencil sketch, I want to be sure I like the placement of everything. Once I start inking with the pen, there's no way to change it. After the pencil sketch and before the ink, I take a kneaded eraser and roll it into a cylinder between my hands. I then gently roll it over my drawing to lighten up the sketch a little bit. This gives me more freedom and is less distracting when I start with the ink. The inking process is the fun part of the drawing. At this stage, I don't copy the pencil lines exactly. They're just guidelines to help me with the structure of the bear. I make sure to create the look and feel of the texture of the fur with the ink. Since there's no removing the ink, every mark I put down is part of the final drawing. I go around the outline of the entire bear first. I then start filling in the shadow shapes and smaller details like the ears and eyes. Also, I fill in the shadow shapes on the legs and rest of the bear. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people, probably like yourself. They have many classes on topics including illustration, design, photography, art, video, freelancing, and more. One of the classes I've been interested in recently is called Animating with Ease in After Effects by Jake Bartlett. I normally use Skillshare a lot for my day job doing graphic design work, but you can use it for really anything you like. So the cool thing is that there's no ads on any of the videos, and they're always launching new premium classes, and it's actually less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. So the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership of Skillshare so you can explore your creativity. Eventually, I add more grass to give an environment for the subject. Now that most of the drawing is filled in, I fix or add marks to any area that needs it. I darken some areas and create larger shadow shapes to give more form. Once I'm happy with the bear, I move to the background. I decided to use a white gel pen for the background because I thought this would add more contrast to the drawing. A simple background like this can really change the look of the drawing. I also add a few light strokes of grass in the foreground. It also helps to give more context to the light and dark areas on the bear. Adding a shadow underneath the bear helps to ground the subject in the environment. I use only vertical lines for the background so it won't be too distracting. Also, I only fill in the background mostly around the bear's head. This is my focal point, so I wanted to make sure it stands out really well. That's pretty much it for this drawing. I wanted to keep it simple and create a strong statement. Reducing your subject to its simplest elements and focusing on those can create an effective and appealing drawing. Anyway, if you found this video useful, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Peace.